Hey, what's going on, y'all? Here we go. Got the long-awaited Tech MCT loadout video. A lot of people were wanting to know what I carry around my Tech MCT for HVAC, for doing service calls, repair, that kind of stuff. I've had it for a couple years now, so I feel like it's pretty much set up the way I'm going to keep it, and haven't changed it in a while, so it's been put through its paces. So let's check it out and kind of see what I got. First of all, let's address the blasphemy here. Yeah, I know I got a Husky strap on my Veto bag, so yeah, make fun of that. But man, this thing's nice and padded. Saw one of the guys in one of the Facebook groups did this, and he can pick this thing up for 20 something bucks, I think, and it does make a difference because this damn bag is 30 something pounds when it's all loaded out. You got your drill and a battery, especially extra battery in it and everything. So, it is what it is. Make fun of it or not, I don't really give a shit. If anything else, I don't know. Alright, so, with the outside pockets, we'll start here. Jumper wires, same thing in this one. Let's see, oh, it's already unzipped. Stays in there pretty good then. That's got the mag jumpers in it. If you don't believe me, you can kind of peek down in there. Anyway, since we do have the company I work for is a carrier dealer, you got to get into, so I just have a regular service wrench in there. You got to get the caps, pull those caps off, then open those to check pressure, so I use that quite a bit. And then the other company I work for, we did some refrigeration, so yeah, we need that. Core, straighter cores, 6-inch chuck, a little brush. Mainly use this for cleaning up terminals, do whatever, but it's nice to have. Do a little clean out of, you got a coil that's just got some surface crap, you can scrape a little bit out. And then of course coil brush. I don't use the patented stainless steel tape dock or whatever that Veto has, but it just doesn't have any kind of, it's just plain. I thought it had some kind of logo on there. But anyway, yeah, I would never have used that for my tape. I like keeping my brush there because I use that quite a bit to get dead geckos and spider webs and shit off of top of your capacitor. So anyhow, let's get into the, oh yeah, other side. Paint pan, Milwaukee Sharpie pen. You need a little tape. Got all the little different tapes so you can mark stuff. I like that. I guess to finish up the outside. This, right now I just have these. I got a little set of Allen sockets. Got a pretty good decent deal on them. So anyway, pick those up off of eBay and I keep those in there now. I don't use them a ton yet, but they're good for getting hubs off and stuff. This little pocket, I really don't use it a whole lot, and I forget my my Tech MC, or my MC, the old school MC bag had the open deals, and I used it a lot more. This, I kind of forget it's there. I really don't care about this thing. I guess I would use it more if I put my jumper wires in there, but quarter, 5/16, 3/8, 7/16, or whatever, and then a squeegee, which I always keep a squeegee in my pocket. Got a little extra piece of sandpaper or sandcloth in there, but sometimes I'll put a piece of mastic, like the hard cast tape, for patching holes that I make or whatever to get a temperature measurement. But anyway, that's like pretty much outside of the bag. So let's pull this sucker open. This is what I actually carry here and get into the most. I guess you can kind of hear weed eaters, lawnmowers in the back. It's always going to be some kind of noise. The kid down the road with a dirt bike, or the family driving up and down the four-wheeler 100 times during the day, or the neighbor weed eating, or dogs barking. So there's pretty much no way to get away from it making a video. So anyway, moving on. Yeah, this is my, because I made that up because I don't like how this thing works a lot of the time, especially you guys that do ICP and carrier. You know that the liquid line service valve, how much of a pain in the ass that is. Sometimes it doesn't go deep enough. So this is a 3/16 and a 5/16. Just kind of how this is, but this actually goes deeper. You can see kind of sometimes. Anyway, but yeah. So that I use this more than I use this, but they're both pretty useful. Belts, got an offset wrench. Bought a bunch of these off of eBay. Found old USA made, some good quality ones that were just bought them piece part. Kind of stocked up on them if I lose one or whatever. Gave one to my boss. I love these double-ended Proto Spline ratcheting wrenches. They're not cheap. They're like 20 something bucks a piece if you buy them individually. I think off of Amazon or eBay or wherever I ended up getting them. I bought the whole set, but I don't carry it with me because it was like about $200. So I really don't want to leave that just sitting on my van in case it gets broke into. If I used it more, I'd start carrying it. But we don't do a ton of like mechanical work. All right. Milwaukee vice grip. We always use a pair of needle nose vice grips. They come in handy. I carried another, like 2 of them I carry. Oh, and I got to work on some of these big rooftop units, ones that are the size of a box car on a couple of places we service, to hold the doors open while you're working so they're not sitting there blowing in the wind and hitting you. But I'll snap those on these outside D-rings and then carry them with me before I go up on the roof. But it's always good to have an extra one. It comes in handy. I just haven't used this one really. I bought it and stuck it in there. Let's see what else. The long shank nut drivers. These are the WeHa ones. They're, I think I got the first set of them for, man, close to $10 or something. And this is, I got 3 sets of them actually. I think they're $17 on Amazon now, but these are badass. The magnets don't come out. I've used them for like to knock out, like hammer on this end and have this end on like a hub on a condenser fan motor or blower motor. When I didn't have a punch, it was just, I was frustrated and like, let me just grab this and pop, pop, knocked it out. They're sturdy. The magnets don't come out. The WeHa brand ones are really good, so I would recommend getting those. They're worth the extra money versus the ones that are just a little bit cheaper. So everything I have is DeWalt for some reason. I have Milwaukee power tools, but all the bits I have are DeWalt. But little number 2 Phillips insulate. I've had this since I worked in the chemical plants. Little insulate. It's like a Pratt and Reed insulated screwdriver. Got a little bitty like number 0 and number 1 for getting the covers off the contactors. A Wheatron little insulated thermostat screwdriver. It's got the swivel part on the back. That comes in handy doing a thermostat. Also, the bent nose pliers. These are NWS. All the German stuff's badass. I love these things. I want to say they're like 40 something bucks, but they're worth it because they're good. Try to keep them clean. Try to wipe them off after I get them gross, so that insulation will actually save you. Klein insulated. These are great too. I think these are not needle nose. These are technically a long nose plier, but Klein insulated stuff's good. I either go with Klein or any of the German manufacturers, Nipex and WS, that stuff. Moving right along with that, my Nipex lineman pliers. Lineman's pliers, not linesmen's. For those of you who say linesmen's, they're lineman pliers or lineman's pliers. Or Kleins, if you just want to be generic with them, because that was the first, allegedly, according to legend, that's the first tool that Matthias Klein made. So I like the Nipex ones. The Klein ones are fine too, but these are pretty cool. I got 3 pairs of the Nipex ones in different bags. And then that's just a Stanley screwdriver I found sometime in my old shop, and it's just my beater screwdriver. I lost my old Craftsman one, broke my heart. A couple of little crescent wrenches for TXVs, for getting off caps that I can't get off with other stuff. You know, I don't need to tell you what you need a crescent wrench for, but an 8-inch and a 6-inch, that pretty much covers everything you need, and it'll get in where you need to get in. Love these little, these are like jeweler's pliers or something, whatever they call them. I forget which brand it is. I've said it on other videos, but I got these off of Amazon. They're like $10 and they're made in the USA. I forget what the brand name is. I'll mention it in the comments if someone wants to know. But they got the little bit of grip on there. These are badass for doing thermostats. I love these, so I carry them with me. I have another pair over here in my troubleshooting bag, which when you're looking at what I carry, this is my more kind of repair. I know I need to go somewhere where I don't want to have to go back to the van as much. When I'm just troubleshooting, I carry this the majority of the time, a little TP. And this is my bigger bag, which, as you can see in the background, I'm going to try these this summer. The TECH-MC, the MC backpack, and then the Klein. I'm going to switch over to that, but this is what I've been using for a while, and that's kind of what its role is, kind of bigger repairs. A little file for, my boss got this for doing cap tubes. You kind of score it and then snap them off, but you know, I'll kind of use this for a little triangular file like that, fine tooth. Love these, the Nipex. I'm a big fan of Nipex. The diagonal cutters, these are really nice. Klein insulated, your number 2, and then flathead. This is actually a replacement one. The other dude I work with used it, and one day we were working together and he snapped it off on a disconnect, so mailed it back to Klein and they mailed me a new one. So good props to Klein for standing behind their stuff. Green lead multi-screwdriver. That's when all the noise neighbors gonna start, people walking their dogs. But hopefully, bear with me, it's gonna be noisy. There's no way getting around it. And you get in the middle of any of these videos, literally the halfway point or the last 3/4, someone's gonna drive by in a 80 straight pipe truck, or the neighbor's gonna drive back and forth in a 4-wheeler. Anyway, so my multi-screwdriver, this has the combination points for electrical. I added that to it. It didn't have that before. They come in handy, changing out breakers. And this has the Schrader, the little add-on to that. I think it's a Klein brand one. But then the other side's just flathead and Phillips. Or if you don't need insulated, I just grab this and you're good for a lot of that. More Nipex. I think this is the 10 or 8 inch. Let's see. Yeah, the 250 millimeter pliers wrench, and then the 250 Cobra. Awesome. Y'all know I love Nipex stuff. This is actually my boss's. I need to give this back to him. But this is for doing terminating your wire on some of your larger rooftop units. It has a Allen head, so I carry that for power wires, hooking the power up to those on new installs. Aux guard. Yeah, if you're replacing a contactor, a breaker that's all corroded and gross, then, or like a air handler, man, just put some of this stuff on the terminals and keep from having to come back 2 summers later when it gets all corroded again and oxidized and shitty. I need to get another one of these. My little Harbor Freight sockets. Got these because hell, I think I got them for $10 when I got them, but yeah, they're colored so you can kind of tell which one you're grabbing easily. And then this tiny little Proto 1/4 inch drive. This is the smallest head I could find on a 1/4 inch ratchet, and it's badass. It's real fine tooth on it, so. And that's just a little extension, and then if I want to use it with my drill, my little 1/4 inch impact, I got that piece on there, but it fits in there pretty good. That's the thing I didn't like about this MC when I noticed when I kind of was moving my tools back and forth. This little space right here where I keep those sockets is kind of diminished, and they don't have these 2 little guys here. There's nothing on this side, but the other side has it too. But yeah, they omitted these for some reason, which I was hoping the Tech Pack and this would be like just pretty much identical. But they did change it up a little bit. But that's you can look at that video to see what I like and love and dislike and don't love about that Tech Pack. But I'm gonna give it a try anyway. Little Klein Allen wrenches. Anyway, those, yeah, sometimes you need to use this guy, so carry those. And other than that, you can see a bunch of screws and just random self-tappers and stuff I have in there in case I need it. Little piece of cloth. I think this is for your piercing valves. Other than that, just a lot of random screws and fasteners that have dropped and made their way in there in the last couple years. The Klein stubby nut drivers. Love those, come in handy. This is a Allen socket. I can't tell you what size. Fits vent fan hubs and another little adapter to go from my chuck on my 1/4 inch drive to a 1/4 inch socket. And that is up in this little pocket is that short Pro tool. Don't use it super often, but it's nice to have. So there's that. Cool. Moving right along, let's go to the back side of the bag. I'm gonna zip this back up so it's not flopping around. Hopefully not getting seasick. Oh, zebra light up here on the top. I usually wrap it around the handle like that. It rides pretty good. Love the zebra light. Some people don't because the batteries don't last as long, but it's easy to change out. I carry rechargeable batteries. You unscrew that, drop the battery out, throw it in your pocket, pull the fresh recharged one or the fresh charged one in there, and then you're good to go when it starts to get dim. That's how I roll. So your mileage may vary, but I love this thing. I have 3 of them. Alright, the back side of the bag, and according to Roger Breward, it is the back because it has this logo, has the pocket. It doesn't have Veto Pro Pack. This is the front. So, straight from the horse's mouth, this is the back. Sometimes I'll keep this on the D-ring, sometimes I'll set it on top of my little parts box right there, but the old trusty, I've had this, man, since about a month or so into doing HVAC work. I've used the back side as a hammer. As you can see, you can barely see fuel brushless on there anymore. It's beat to hell. The button's been popped out and put back in from dropping way down and landing on concrete. The battery come flying out. I beat this thing up. It's got a little bit of pookie on it. But the Milwaukee 1/4-inch impact driver, it's the brushless one, but it's the first gen brushless. I have the newer one that has the 4 speeds. It has 1, 2, 3, and then like self tapper. But man, I still love this thing. It's holding up. I've abused it and have not been easy on it at all. Holds up. If you don't got one, if you're a Milwaukee guy, get one of these. If you're a DeWalt guy, get the yellow one. But yeah, love that thing. Okay, Fluke. I do like my field piece meter, but I got this after I got done doing electrical work at a plant, and I didn't have a good clamp meter to do amps and stuff like I had at the plant, and I missed having a good meter. So I did invest in getting a good one, and I'll keep this on this bag. But as you can see, mostly I use my field piece. It's just better set up for HVAC work. But the Fluke is awesome. Fluke's the gold standard. Can't go wrong with that. Plungers fit very well into these little pockets right here. Another little bit, little driver for driving in. Mostly I use it for like sheetrock screws or whatever the hell, putting up grills. Let's keep going here. But oh yeah, these I don't use them a ton. I used them more when I did refrigeration, but these things are awesome for jumping out 120 volt or 240 volt. The amp rating, you can get them on Amazon if anyone wants to know what I can give you the link in the description if y'all or in the comments, but if y'all need to know what these are. But they're higher amp rated. I think they're like 10 or 15 amp rated jumper wires for jumpering out stuff that like jumpering out a heat kit or something like that temporarily. But don't use them a ton, but these are fucking awesome to have, so I recommend getting some. Like I said, if you want to know, I'll put a link to them. They're not expensive at all. Some more random screws down the bottom, a couple of jumper wires, the little Klein strippers, no explanation needed. And see, this is just the least expensive Harbor Freight level for doing thermostats. It's plastic, so you got a big, heavy, like aluminum or steel or cast or whatever level. It's kind of a pain in the butt when you have a little plastic thermostat to put that on top of, and it's gonna fall. And I had a metal one and it fell and it like landed on someone's tile floor, and they gave me a dirty look like it was gonna chip their tile. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna carry an inexpensive plastic one because it's gonna get dropped a whole bunch, and it's just easier to manage in a house. Goodie box, the little Husky from Home Depot. As you can see, that's my blues are depleted and my reds are all but gone. Maybe one in there. A little drill bit for mounting thermostats. But yeah, just all your typical connectors, spare screws, a lot of that stuff. But the goodie box, y'all know what it is. Most of us got one of these. I get a fresh one every year because they usually get cracked or broke, so just grab another one at the end of the summer. Long shank Klein nut drivers, tabby cat. The Klein crimpers, I love these. I got some channel lock ones, but these are reversed right here, so they kind of, I like we always use the insulated ones, mostly doing HVAC work, so I like having that towards the bottom. I've even seen people grind off the little cutter part of it, but I use it, so I don't do that. But yeah, the Journeyman ones, badass. More Klein rules. The heavy duty Klein strippers. At first I didn't like these when I got them. They have like the jaws are a little bit more on the end. It's not like a needle nose. The stripper part, first I didn't like them, but they kind of grew on me, so they stay in there. The 11/32 mag for your condenser fan motor nuts and the induced draft motors. I think that's like the only thing you ever use 11/32 for. But I went ahead and carried one of these. Got a bunch of crud in it. And then this little deal right here, insulated, right? But I had that for pulling up terminals, little stubborn terminals, the spades that don't want to come off, and also the length of it. If you can see, you can get it in a guard on a condenser fan and kind of spin to see if it's froze up. And here's the extended chuck, the 12-inch. But you know, use that a little bit less. These are just some extra stuff to make jumper wires. That's, I think, a drill bit for your newer T4 and T6 Honeywell thermostats. It's a different size thing, so I picked one of these up. Haven't used it yet. Hadn't mounted a thermostat in the last couple weeks, oddly. Up in this little pocket, which I like this thing, and it bummed me out that they didn't have these on the TECH-MCT for some reason. But this little pocket up here, I put my little popper, which these are awesome. If you don't have one, what are you doing? And then the furnace cooler, which everybody like, oh, why would you buy that? You can make your own. Yeah, whatever. Put some money in someone's pocket. They made a nice little product. It's rubberized. It's not janky looking, and as many gas furnaces as I come across, it does come in handy. So cool, there it is. Really, I mean, that's most of what I got, and that's what I carry on this thing. So we'll see how, I don't know, see what y'all carry, what you think I'm lacking, or what I shouldn't be carrying, or if y'all like how I got it loaded out. But that's 2 years of life with the TECH-MCT, and that's what I ended up loading it out with, and it's worked pretty good for me. So I'll the next adventure is going to be trying out these 2 tool backpacks and seeing how they work for us this summer, because I do a lot more commercial and apartment complexes with the condensers and package units are on top of the roof. So I think I'm going to go with something that has backpack straps just to make it easier to lug it up than having to do a shoulder strap. But yeah, like, subscribe, hit that bell. For sure, leave a comment. Any, I love discussing tools. That's most of my videos on. 99% of my videos are all tool bag videos, so I love talking about tools and tool bags and all that kind of stuff, as you can see. So yeah, feel free to leave a comment. We can bullshit about tools. Y'all have a good one.